What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am the Disc Golf Nerd. Today we're just going to do a quick video to kind of check in, show you guys the completed Overstable Approach Disc collection, show you guys a couple of different things I kind of moved around, some spring cleaning here in the studio, added some different storage and stuff. We're going to take a quick peek through my bag as well, since my last in the bag video was a little wacky, and as always, I always change my bag right after I post it in the bag video. And this time I did so as well, and quite dramatically, so we're going to give you a quick rundown through that as well. And I'm also going to give away some plastic and some other goodies. I got this nice dyed Luft Disc silicone I'm going to give away to you guys, as well as this nice blue medium pearl Loot dry bag to help keep your hands dry out there in the summer weather. Kind of revamp the studio a little bit. Have a different setup here to film. We're going to go through that box in just a minute. Added another Vestken shelf. I was over by IKEA and I grabbed an extra one just to be able to kind of expand my storage out that little bit and keep it more flush to the wall as well. So worked out nice. You know, these work out really great for the money. The Heiser disc rack is the king of the studio back here and really does the bulk of the work. Still holds so much plastic, but again, for what you're going to pay for these Vestken, I have a whole video on them. They're pretty solid. You know, they hold plenty of discs. They wobble around a little bit, but they don't like fall off or anything. So I took a little hiatus from the channel, like I told you guys about in the bag video, which was nice. You know, use that time to reevaluate things a little bit, do some cleaning and organizing back here. Like I said, got ready for a trip to the East Coast, which was good. Didn't play any disc golf there. It was very windy, very hot, but I did go check out the course in Myrtle Beach that's new and just kind of take a look. I saw some folks out there playing, which was cool. It's interesting that, you know, every time I posted in the bag video, literally every time at this point, I always change my bag around like right after that, and this time was no exception. Actually moved things around a lot. That was a very transitional bag that I was happening to use in that last particular video, and a lot of those discs did not make the cut, and a bunch of old favorites are kind of back in favor now. I'll give you a quick run through actually while we're here. I put the Caltrop back in the bag. Excellent, working out great again, pretty much exclusively for my backhand approaches, but I'm going to keep testing it, you know, and try it more with my forehand now that my forehand's more developed. But for now, I still have Mr. Putt in here for my forehands, and that's working out nice. Grabbed this 3-chain softy from the used bin at Disc Golf Depot. Happened to mention, if you ever see any, they were going through a really sweet stash of old-time plastic that somebody had passed away, and they kind of purchased a big lot of discs from the family. And I was like, if there's any old magnets in there, let me know. And Val grabbed this one off the shelf that was already in stock. Said, hey, there's one here, $4, had to grab it. And it's an absolute laser. It's absolutely perfect. This thing's so dialed. You know, it's got that nice perfect amount of wear on the outside of it. It's not super floppy. It's got that nice flat top on these old softies. Again, for $4, it's, you know, I have to laugh at how awesome that disc is. Another new addition that just put in is the Hexus. Now, this is a more understable complement to the Nexus, which is one I've talked about on the channel a few times. The original Hexus that I got was this one down here in my 3D printed section. And since it's like black and green, it's not terrible to find out there in the course, but I just haven't bagged it or thrown it much because of that color, more or less. But really nice, very straight, easily flips up and holds a really nice straight line, low fade type disc. Down here I got a couple things I'm messing with. The Xenon as my overstable kind of utility disc, unlikely to get thrown much. So I like this one, it feels nice. I'll throw it down there in case I need it. Also got this Color Glow Rock 3 that I just put in. Just really like the feel of it. It's got a nice, really nice grip for the Color Glow Champion, and it's got a nice stable flight. That's kind of like my Gobi most of the way, and then it starts fading out earlier and fades more significantly at the end. Got this pre-flight Champ Valkyrie in here, and these are my kind of 9-10 speeds. Dick Fury's back for my flippy shots, and then I picked up this old pre-flight Champion Orc. This was actually, I believe, came out of that stash I was telling you about earlier that the depot had taken in. So I think I got this for like $10 or something. Really nice. My friend Mike, viewers, subscribers that pay attention, might have remembered I posted a video about my friend Mike that passed away a couple years back now already. It's already been a little while. It's wild. Anyway, when he was playing a lot and I was first getting into disc golf, him and his buddy at the time were like the two best players that I ever knew, and they had the most experience, and their go-to discs were these old champion orcs, these kind of pre-flight champion orcs. So I kind of grabbed it out of respect from Mike, and it's nice, more stable than I was expecting. That particular one's pretty stable. Like, it doesn't flip much, and it at all really, and it has a pretty nice fade on it as well. Then I got the Air Havoc back in the bag I'm throwing. I got this X Havoc still rocking, Pro Wraith still rocking, and last new thing I'm messing with is this Halo Mamba. Never had any Halo plastic really that I could give a formal test to. I think the only ones I've ever had have been Halo Destroyers, which are just way too overstable for me to get any use out of. 11.6 -5.1 are the flight numbers on this. Kind of crazy, but that's much more for the other versions of the mold. I would probably go, 11.6 -3.2 on this one, maybe -3.1, something like that. It's not super flippy, but it's flippy enough that it works well with my low arm speed, kind of stands up, and has good flight to it, and I like the feel. It's a really nice feel, so I'm going to mess around with that one some more. That's just a quick snapshot into the bag. Other stuff that's kind of in contention to get carried that I'm messing with is this Opto X Felon that I dyed up. Might use that. I'm strongly considering putting this Thrasher back in just to mess with. I don't know, we'll see. And then I have this Color Glow Wraith as well that I've been playing with for the last month or so. That's nice. It's just probably a bit too stable for me. I kind of just don't need it with the X Havoc. They kind of take up the same spots in the bag. So moving on from that, I don't have a ton of plastic in the inventory for review purposes specifically at this point, kind of by design. I was trying to get away from having this huge backlog, and it still takes me a long time to get through the stuff, as you guys know. I do have these Champion Grooves still hanging out. I've had these on the shelf for a few years already that I want to do an updated video with eventually, but it's not a priority, so they just kind of just hang out. New stuff I did take in are the Spore. I got a couple of these Spores from Discmania. Disc Golf Depot hooked me up with these. Super sticky, gummy, like just kind of feels like the Frost plastic or, gummy Opto, basically. And they feel really nice, but I think the flight numbers are kind of crazy. In flight, this thing's basically a lightweight, gummy dagger. Just a deep dish, beaded putter. It really just flies like a gummy premium dagger that's in a lighter weight. So if that's what you're looking for, be a good option. Full review coming soon, though. I really haven't tested them a whole lot, but in terms of the head-to-head with having just reviewed the Glitch not too long ago, yeah, I'm just not really seeing it as being all that similar, to be honest with you. I also got a Stokely Wren that I ended up with in my inventory. I'm on the hook with a friend on Instagram that I've met recently, and she might be able to help me out reviewing those, so that's kind of the goal. I think I showed you the RPM Kia, but maybe not. If I didn't, Josh Basinger sent me a couple of these to mess with, and this one's really nice. I put another one in my Overstable Approach Disc collection that we're going to peek through in just a minute here. And then he also sent me a P-Waka Waka, so I could pair it with the one that I already have in the inventory and potentially do a review on this relatively soon as well. And it's just a nice disc that I might want to throw for myself. And he sent me this, what is this? A Tui, Magmasoft Tui that he had stamped up as well. So thank you to Josh for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't think I have a whole lot else on here to really show you guys in terms of upcoming reviews. Oh, that's right. You guys saw these already. I have 3 of these Yiquan discs Hou-Yi to review. Really, really nice drivers. I'm just trying to wait to connect with Andy. I think Andy's going to really throw those well. And it's just really hard. It's really hard to connect with people to film these days, guys. It's just tough. It has been for years already. Like, it's just different, The older you get, the more difficult it is to make time with your friends, and I only have so many of them to go around. I also have a pair of these beautiful Arowana down here. Really awesome discs that I've had in the inventory for a couple years already, and just have not gotten a full review done. So hopefully I will make that happen relatively soon. But shout out to Elevation Discs, Arowana. Super nice, ultra grip, rubbery, no ground play throwing putter. Really, really, really quality disc that I liked a lot when I first started testing them. And then other than that, I have a whole bunch of odds and ends. These are some overstable mids, understable mids, and some more of that type of thing down here. And last thing I want to show you, this is my outgoing box right here. I'm going to do some trade-ins again here soon. Oh yeah, I have these loot bags. Loot Bag sent me some of these loot bags to check out. They seem really nice. This one right here I'm going to give away. So look for a Google form in the description of the video if you want to win one of these. I'm just going to give that one away just for fun. A little thank you for the viewers that are sticking around. Maybe I'll throw in a disc as well. And then he also sent me this one. Hopefully you can see that through the bag. One-handed here, so I can't open it up right now. But this one has a really cool picture that I had taken back at Milo McIver some years back, but front and back, so kind of a custom Milo design on here. So we might be able to offer these for sale relatively soon, so I'll let you guys know. Keep an eye out. Definitely announce that on Instagram. What can I do to sweeten the pot? What about this? What about a nice Luftdiscs dyed silicone 5403? But it'll be yours if you win the contest. Look for a link in the description to enter. Give you guys a loot bag, courtesy of Loot Bags, and a Disc Golf Nerd dyed custom Luftdiscs silicone. Really excellent overstable mid-range. Okay, we are back in the studio to finish out this video by taking a look at the completed overstable approach disc collection. These are mostly flat tops or puddle tops. They are 2 to 4 speeds, mostly 3 and 4, mostly 4 I'd have to say. 5 speeds are separated out, you know, the Anchor, the Justice, the Gator, you know, stuff like that is off on a separate video that will happen later on. Right now, I'm focusing on mostly 4 speeds, like the Harp and the Zone, and the really classic ones that are in here, but there are a few that are 2 and 3, and it's all, you know, quite subjective as well. I'm not planning on adding any more molds to this. It's 28 molds, but if somebody sees this video and you feel like there's one that should really be in here, you want to send me one to add in here and be tested alongside the rest of these awesome molds, let me know. Otherwise, this is how I'm going to move forward. I'm not spending any more money on this, but I will take it into consideration if you guys want to try to submit something last minute to be tested once we actually drag these out onto the field. I'm definitely going to be doing a video I'm probably most looking forward to comparing the design of these, because overall, you know, barring some differences in the stability from something like a Stego to a Zone or whatever, mostly want to do a video kind of comparing the design of these and the feel and talk about those aspects of it, because I think that's going to be one of the biggest separating factors out of this box of overstable greatness. Okay, a lot of talking. Let's dig in. This is one of 3 that are molded by Gateway. This is the Stego, and it's leading off because it's the best stamp by a mile, and it's also probably the meanest, most ridiculously overstable one in the box, and probably among the last ones I would actually carry to use. It's just so overstable, it's not even necessary. I have a full video on this thing that me and Andy did way back when I first took it into the inventory, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Flies way better upside down than it does otherwise. If you are interested in that kind of base feel, but you want something that's more useful and usable out there on the course, the also Gateway molded Baobab from AGL. This one's in a really nice soft plastic, similar, kind of like a beadless version of a Stego, definitely more useful, but still plenty mean for the average player out there. We also have the final Gateway molded one from the Gateway brand proper, and this is the Devil Hawk with KK approved stamp on the Devil Hawk. There's a quick look at that one. Even though I'm on the GoPro, it's not the best for this. We'll take a quick peek. Baobab, Stego adds that bead and just takes it to the next level of stupidity. One of the most solid ones in here, one of the nicest ones I think, is the Entropy from MVP. Really nice, very comfortable feel. Then we have Innova options. We got the Champion Toro, easily one of the top ones in this whole box, I'd say. Modern kind of spin on this that's really dialed and solid. AVR X3 was kind of the first attempt at this type of disc for Innova, kind of the Zony type disc, but not quite as effective, I'd say. One of the best ones in the box as well is the Pig. This is the first overstable approach disc I ever had. Way back, I had an R Pro Pig. This is the Ricky Pro Pig. Great disc, got to be in here. Let's take a look at the Pig real fast, in case you haven't seen one. Really comfortable feel, very nice. Then we have the Rhino, also has to be in here. It's This is probably one of the ones that's marked the slowest in terms of flight numbers, 2103, and it's got that old school design to it. Figured that one had to be part of the experience. This is the one I somehow missed when I was filming yesterday, so I'm redoing this whole segment. The Harpoon from Lone Star Discs, kind of a lower profile zone in terms of the design. Very nice grippy plastic, good feel. Very similar to the Prodigy A2, another nice overstable disc. That this one even broken in and having some wear on it and stuff, still plenty overstable. Then we have the A3. Look how fingerprinty this thing is. Another one of my favorites in the box. I bagged this one for a little while and it's fantastic. At the time they were really hard to find, so I didn't want to get too attached to it. And I've never really been a Prodigy guy, but this is a really fantastic disc. Kind of a lower profile Gator. We have the RPM discs Kia, very similar, somewhere in between the Gator and the A3. Nice disc. It's going to take a while. Pick up the pace. The Yarn, Castaplast Yarn. Very Zone Harp Tactic type design. Then we have the Clash Discs Mint. This one as well. Harp Zone Tactic kind of vibe. Here's the Tactic. Discmania's only entry into the collection. Then we have the Elevation Discs Interceptor. This one is in a really soft, incredibly grippy rubber plastic, but other than that, it's kind of like a lower profile Pig with super low ground play. Excellent. This one, a little bit of an outlier, I'd say, and this is the Luft Discs Neon. Full review I just posted recently on this thing. It's got a mega, supple puddle top, extremely accurate, really high quality, well-designed disc. Then we have the Mr. Putt, one of the ones that's living in my bag and has been for years now. NSH Custom Discs, 3D printed Mr. Putt. Board flat, kind of slab-sided, chunky rim, great for forehand rollers, and actually a nice spin putter as well. Not quite as mean when you just kind of spin putt it. Quite mean when you power into it on the backhand. Legacy Disc Sumo. This is the last one I added to the list because I wanted to have Legacy represented in here. They sent me some of their 5-speeds before the Sumo was on the market for this purpose. But since I decided to put the overstable mid-ranges separate, I have the Badger and the Recluse over there, and the Sumo is going in here. Nice feel. And this one is also very zony, I'd say. And speaking of which, we got the actual zone represented in this list. This is a Ledgestone 2022 ESP Tour Series Swirl Flex Zone, and still a nice flyer. Good disc. Obviously, the Zone, one of the most iconic out of the whole list at this point. We have the DGA Breaker in the Proline plastic. Has a little bit of a different vibe to it, I'd say. And it's got that little bit of a bead. Definitely a little bit of its own thing going on with the Breaker. And a good feel. The plastic's a little bit slippery, but, whatever. It'll break in and probably add grip over time. Some of this older Discraft molded stuff is definitely that way. First run Zone OS. Not quite as much of a puddle top as the Neon somehow. Before I tested the Neon, this was the most severe puddle top I'd ever seen. Mean overstable. Dynamic Discs Culprit. I would have to think this is one of the least popular ones that's in this list, and kind of just ends up staying in here because I have it. I don't think it really caught on. I could be wrong, but this one is also kind of an attempt at a zone type disc from DD. I think they're better discs, and these are all the trilogy molded ones. I think the Saki Bomb Slammer is easily the best one in the DD lineup. It is very overstable, controls the distance extremely easily, kind of built-in distance control because you just can't throw it far no matter what you do. Then I also have found this old Fusion Suspect. As I recall, there's no ink on this thing, so I wasn't able to get it back to its owner. I forget even where I found it, but, maybe I found it at Rooster Rock or something like that, and I was like, oh, that'll go in the collection, so I'll get some use out of it and be able to represent this solid mold that I liked quite a bit when I first tested it. Then we have the Cenis, one of the oldest, most interesting ones in the box as well. I don't know what, flight numbers they consider for this thing, but it's been in the collection since early on, and it's not going anywhere. Has to be represented, I think. Then probably my favorite one, the one I have the most experience with, is the Latitude 64 Caltrup. Sadly, out of production, kind of a big, chunky cross between a pig and a rhino kind of vibe, deeper, and has just been absolutely crucial to my game since it came out. Threw it for years, switched to the harp for a little bit, now it's back. And last but not least, also has to be one of the top ones out of the whole box, Westside Discs harp. absolute classic as well, and easily one of the best flat top overstable approach discs on the market. One of the best discs on the market, period. Okay, there we go. That's the final teaser for this. We're going to do much more in-depth side-by-side comparisons, group them together in various ways, and kind of categorize them as I see fit. And we're just going to ramble a whole bunch, and then I'm going to get out here with the whole box, get out to the field, hopefully have at least Andy and maybe somebody else in tow, and we're going to throw all these things and probably goof off a bunch and, you know, make fun of a few of them, you know, the typical kind of stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your continued support. A huge shout out to the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team, sponsors, fans, viewers, subscribers. I love and appreciate you all. Link in the description for all the different ways to help support me, from my Patreon to any active coupon codes, Disc Golf Nerd merch, my Disc Golf Robot jersey, any of that type of stuff that you might be interested in. You can find all the links to all of that in my link tree below. I will check you later. Cheers.